عرضنا الأمانة على السماوات والأرض والجبال فأبين أن يحملنها وأشفقن منها وحملها الإنسان إنه كان ظلوما جهولا ليعذب الله المنافقين والمنافقات والمشركين والمشركات ويتوب الله على المؤمنين والمؤمنات وكان الله غفورا رحيما صدق اللہ العظیم۔ یہ جو اشعار سنایا جا رہا ہے سیدی و مرشدی حضرت اقدس حضرت مولانا شاہ حکیم محمد اختر صاحب رحمہ اللہ تعالیٰ کا اشعار ہے۔ اس کا عنوان ہے مجھے تو قرب کا عالم دیا ہے آہ صحرا نے۔ سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے ہیں میخانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام و پیمانے۔ سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے ہیں میخانے، سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے ہیں میخانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے۔ سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے ہیں میخانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے۔ ساقی پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ خلاف راہ سنت جو بنا کرتے ہیں مستانے، خلاف راہ سنت جو بنا کرتے ہیں مستانے، خلاف راہ سنت جو بنا کرتے ہیں مستانے۔ وہ دیوانے بظاہر ہیں مگر اندر ہے فرزانے، وہ دیوانے بظاہر ہیں مگر اندر ہے فرزانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے۔ ساقی پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ جو عارف ہے وہ کس عالم میں رہتے ہیں خدا جانے، جو عارف ہے وہ کس عالم میں رہتے ہیں خدا جانے، جو عارف ہے وہ کس عالم میں رہتے ہیں خدا جانے۔ بھلا جو غیر عارف ہے وہ ان کا رتبہ کیا جانے، بھلا جو غیر عارف ہے وہ ان کا رتبہ کیا جانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے۔ ساقی پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پیلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ حسینوں کے اجر جائیں گے جب جغرافیے ایک دن، حسینوں کے اجر جائیں گے جب جغرافیے ایک دن، حسینوں کے اجر جائیں گے جب جغرافیے ایک دن۔ بتانا دا کہاں جائے گا اپنے دل کو بہلانے، بتانا دا کہاں جائے گا اپنے دل کو بہلانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ جو یاد آتی ہے ان کی دل میں گھبراتا ہوں گلشن میں، جو یاد آتی ہے ان کی دل میں گھبراتا ہوں گلشن میں، جو یاد آتی ہے ان کی دل میں گھبراتا ہوں گلشن میں۔ مجھے تو قرب کا عالم دیا ہے آہ صحرا نے، مجھے تو قرب کا عالم دیا ہے آہ صحرا نے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ جو زاہد عشق سے نا آشنا ہے پھر بھی وہ نادا، جو زاہد عشق سے نا آشنا ہے پھر بھی وہ نادا، نہیں سمجھا ہے خود لیکن چلا ہے مجھ کو سمجھانے، نہیں سمجھا ہے خود لیکن چلا ہے مجھ کو سمجھانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ ستایا عمر بر ابو جہل نے شم نبوت کو، ستایا عمر بر ابو جہل نے شم نبوت کو، ستایا عمر بر ابو جہل نے شم نبوت کو، مگر بدنام ہے دونوں جہاں میں اس کے افسانے، مگر بدنام ہے دونوں جہاں میں اس کے افسانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ تجلی ان کی ہوتی ہے عطا قلب شکستہ میں، تجلی ان کی ہوتی ہے عطا قلب شکستہ میں، کیا ہے قلب کو لیکن شکستہ غم کے سودا نے، کیا ہے قلب کو لیکن شکستہ غم کے سودا نے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ وہی کرتے ہیں ان کے عاشقوں پر تبصرے اختر، وہی کرتے ہیں ان کے عاشقوں پر تبصرے اختر، وہی کرتے ہیں ان کے عاشقوں پر تبصرے اختر، جو ظالم درد الفت سے ہوا کرتے ہیں بیگانے، جو ظالم درد الفت سے ہوا کرتے ہیں بیگانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔ سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے میخانے، سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے میخانے، سنا ہے خانقاہوں میں محبت کے میخانے، دیا کرتا ہے ساقی عاشقوں کو جام پیمانے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، مرشد پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ساقی پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے، ہم کو پلا دے جام بھر بھر کے۔
MashaAllah, beautiful from Hafizullah Fasal, MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair. And without any our call, Ridwan sir to enlighten with his words of wisdom. Last connection again. Sorry, it's not connected. Allahu Akbar.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم ألهمنا مراشد أمورنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. It is the kindness of Almighty Allah that Allah Tabarak Ta'ala has allowed every one of us to enjoy an Islam that always gets bigger. It is always on the increase. It makes an individual happy when you see something getting more. It makes a person sad when you see something getting less. What a beautiful masjid Allah Tabarak Ta'ala allowed to come up in a land which is not a Muslim land. There is no finance from the government. There is no help from the communities. Wherever in an area where they were never accustomed to a masjid is coming up, the people become worried. There is opposition, there is difficulty. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam loses his son, Al-Qasim. The disbelievers start celebrating. They say, he lost a son. How can your work, your mission ever take place without a son? Your nasab has been cut. You cut your nasab, you're not going nowhere. Your lineage. Allah Tabarak Ta'ala reveals, Inna a'tayna kal kawthar. That indeed we have given you more than enough. But kawthar means that which doesn't ever get less, it only gets more. It only gets more. One example of Kawthar is a pond in the year after. Its place is actually a river in Jannah, but it will meet the people on the plains of Hashar. How many people will want to drink from this? How many people? But forget the water. Regarding the cups that will be on Kawthar, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, those cups will be like the stars. That forget the water, the cups itself will be more than enough. More than enough. But the water's nature will be such that you'll take one sip from it, you'll never get thirsty after. So it is not like the water of this world that you take one, I need more. This is one you take, I don't need more. Then you'll just drink for enjoyment. It is something that when it starts, it only gets bigger, bigger, bigger. Wherever people went to do the work of deen, it always started with one. Quran mentions كَزَرْعٍ أَخْرَجَ شَطْأَهُ, that it was a farm that first it was only one bud that came out. One bud. The chance of that bud being stamped by anyone, by an animal just coming and biting it off, by someone just trampling it, by the wind just blowing it away, but one bud came out. It broke through the ground, one bud. That bud was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that bud was going to be thereafter every ummati which he was going to send in a place where there was no support. One bud. It would come out. When you will look at that one bud in your own country of the United Kingdom, if you'll just think about 50, 60 years before this, there was nothing like this. In a place there would be one man. To stamp on one man is so easy. To remove one man is so easy. For the wind to blow away one man is so easy. For him to lose courage is so easy. كَزَرْعٍ أَخْرَجَ شَطْأَهُ, one man. فَآزَرَهُ, but Allah Tabarak Ta'ala strengthens that bud. فَاسْتَغْلَظَ, then you see the bud becoming fat. Now the wind blows it, but the bud is not moving. فَاسْتَغْلَظَ فَاسْتَوَى عَلَى سُوقِهِ, now it's able to stand on its own stem. Now it's high. First it was just at the bottom, you couldn't even notice. Islam is noticed in the whole world now. It is noticed in Muslim lands, it is noticed in the lands of a non-Muslim. Fastawa. Now it has become something that's to be taken notice of. Now the enemy want to bomb it from on top. But no matter how much they bombing, this bud is just becoming stronger and stronger. فَاسْتَغْلَظَ فَاسْتَوَى عَلَى سُوقِهِ يُعْجِبُ الزُّرَّاعِ. Now that one bud is making all the farmers smile. Now the whole world is looking at it and said, where Islam came up in a land of no Islam. Now he says, 50 years ago, did you ever think there'll be a masjid here? He said, now look at the masjid. Now look at the people. Now they're becoming stronger. Now the farmers are delighted. يُعْجِبُ الزُّرَّاعِ لِيَغِيظَ بِهِمُ الْكُفَّارِ. So that Allah can make the disbelievers burn in anger. That when it was so weak, I could have just finished it off. But now it's too late. Every country which has seen the rise of Islam, those who hate Islam, and they are seeing the people of the land flocking to Islam. Those who hate it are now regretting when we had the chance. We could have just stamped it out. Why did we allow the first? Have you heard the president of a country saying, stop the immigration, stop from this country, stop from that country? He said, now you want to stop. Now your own people are making masjids. Who you want to stop now? It has already come, it's too late. Now you either submit and accept it happily, or you're going to see it coming and you're going to be burning لِيَغِيظَ بِهِمُ الْكُفَّارِ. Allah's amazing system, one bud. He showed the world how does He take out the farm. One bud. And how it spreads, one Nabi of Allah. How many years in Makkah Mukarramah, the chance they had, just break it. And they never. And how Allah Tabarak Ta'ala then spread it. A time comes that the very leaders of Makkah Mukarramah, Abu Sufyan is the main leader now. After all of them are killed at Badr, it's Abu Sufyan. Abu Sufyan, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam tells his uncle Abbas radiallahu anh, make Abu Sufyan stand on one part of the mountain. So that when the armies of Allah will be entering Makkah Mukarramah, Abu Sufyan must see those armies. And as he's standing and they have to walk past a place where you have to turn. And in front of Abu Sufyan, the first group comes. He says, what's this? And Abbas radiallahu anh says, this group. He says, what this group got to do with us? Why are they coming to attack us? What they got to do? He said, Islam brought them. Islam. He said, that group. He said, what's this group? He said, what they got to do with us? We never fought them. He looks at another group. He said, is this the main army? He said, this is just one of the armies. And as it's coming, group after group, group after group. Then he sees the group of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Abbas radiallahu anh said, this is death, this is death. Every one of them is death in itself. See, after group, they had come to Makkah Mukarramah 2 years before this. They were 1,500. 1,500 Sahaba radiallahu anh put their hands like this. They took a pledge at Hudaybiyah, we're ready to fight for Makkah. 1,500. Against the entire Makkah, they said, we'll defeat them. Let's fight. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, no. 1,500 ready to fight. Now 10,000 are coming. Of that 1,500, 10,000. Then Abbas radiallahu anh says once, Abu Sufyan says one sentence. He says, indeed the matter of your nephew has become very big. Meaning your nephew is like a king over 10,000. Abbas radiallahu anh says, oh Abu Sufyan, how long will it take you to understand? This has got nothing to do with my nephew. He says, this is nubuwah. This is nubuwah. This is prophethood. This is the messenger of Allah. It got nothing to do with my family, your family. Got nothing to do with one Muhammad. This is the deen of Allah. Then Abu Sufyan says, okay, I accept. This is nubuwah. Like this is a miracle. Abu Sufyan only saw 1,500 becoming 10,000. 8th year of Hijri. 10th year of Hijri, Abu Sufyan will look on the plains of Hajj and 10,000 will become 124,000. That's not all the Muslims, that is those that came for the Hajj. A galaxy of 124,000. 2 years before 10,000, 2 years before 1,500. And once it was just a lone bud. He said that is Nubuwah. And from 124,000 the world would see generation after generation in the millions. In the millions. It would be in Muslim lands and then you would see it enter into non-Muslim lands. We are reaching that place, that time where the decision for the hidayah of the world, may Allah Tabaruk Ta'ala make it in our lifetime. There's a high hope we will see it in our lifetime. Where Islam will enter into every house with the happiness of the inhabitants, or even if the man is unhappy and you'll say his daughter is reading the kalima, his son is reading the kalima. You say, how did this happen? The Tatars, they ravaged through the Muslim lands. How they killed. A person meets a prince of the Tatars, the Mongols. He has a discussion with this Mongol prince while he's out hunting. The prince listens to it. He says, very amazing your talks. He says, one day if I become the king, I'll consider this deen of Islam. One day. They're the very people who were killing the Muslims. He says, one day I'll consider this. This man is passing away. He says to his son, I was not going to see the time where that man will become the leader, but you'll see the time. He said, you take my message to him, that remember the promise you made once upon a time to an old man, that if Allah makes you the leader, you'll consider this deen of Islam. The son takes the message. This prince has become the leader. Allah Tabaruk Ta'ala allows him to get a meeting with this, now the king of the Mongols, and a simple Muslim walks in front. He says, I have only brought you the message of my father. He says, remember a promise you made to an old man once when hunting, that if Allah makes you the leader, you will consider this faith. And the king looks at him and remembers. And the king just says to everyone, go out. And now the king is thinking, if I have to accept Islam, will the Mongols accept? So he calls his ministers. He speaks to the first minister, says, I am considering this faith of Islam. This was what they were killing. But when Allah makes a decision, amazing Islam is, even the enemy becomes Muslim. Even the enemy. Abu Sufyan was the leader. Because of him, the battle of Badr. Abu Sufyan, leader of the enemies. He has to say, it's Nubuwah this. It's Nubuwah. When the enemy becomes the believer, this is called Islam. How it grows. How it grows. Allah bring it the day you will see the king and queen of your own country saying Allahu Akbar. Nothing is far. Nothing is far from Allah. The whole world at the moment is noticing the rise of Islam. They're noticing the justice of Islam and the zulm of everyone besides Islam. It's within them. The minister has to speak to the Mongol. The Mongol leader says, I'm considering this religion of Islam. The minister quietly says, Sire, I already accepted this Islam. I already accepted it. It was just that fear of being killed I could not tell you. I already accepted it. I mean, is the truth not so clear? He says, you accepted. I said, what could I do? He said, go. Calls another minister. He says, I am considering this faith of Islam. What is your thoughts? Quietly he says, I already accepted this faith. Ministers had accepted it before the king, but no one can talk. You will never know in your own country how much they are who Islam has already entered their hearts. They are just waiting for the chance to say it on their tongue. But because of social pressure, they can't. Islam is rising. Islam is rising. But my example to you now is not worrying about the king and queen. They'll accept Islam, inshallah. The day they accept Islam, where you think they're going to perform salah? They'll have to find the masjids that you people put up. You think that time they'll have time to build masjids? Allah in His kindness inspires people to put up masajid before the musallis come. Before the musallis. Look at the haram. No matter how big they make the haram, it's always small. It's always small. But there was a time when there was no one at the haram. The Khalif of Islam once, there was a time in Islam after the Hajj, the Khalif would stand at the ports telling the people, stay for a few more months and we will provide all your needs. Don't leave. And everyone said, Hajj is finished, we're going home. We came already 4 months. Provide all your needs, we'll give you a room by the haram. At that time, then came the time where building started. Someone would have thought, what must build here for? This haram is more than enough for the people. But the haram expands when the people will expand. The masjid becomes bigger because the time is coming where everyone will be coming to the masjid. When you will see the expansion of Makkah Mukarramah, you must understand Allah uses anyone for His deen. Anyone and everyone gets used. Some get used and they are sincere and they get the reward of it. Some gets used, they don't know why they're being used. They don't know why. Amazing, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala made it. A time came where certain leaders in the Arab lands, they decided, let's stop the Umrah. They really thought, let's stop the Umrah. Let's invite the people to places besides Makkah. We won't know, but definitely they thought of it. Definitely. Then what happened? Their thoughts of the city of Neom, the money that they brought for that city, they haven't got that money anymore. The money got finished before the city can go up. Then Allah puts a thought in their minds that for you to fund your city of Neom, the only money that you can get is through Umrah and Hajj. Suddenly they say, okay, open up the Umrahs. Who wants to make, everyone come make Umrah now. Now say 2 million, they went 3 million, 5 million. We accept even more. A nation who wanted to stop the Umrah, Allah Tabarak Ta'ala stopped their funding. And then He puts a thought in their mind, you need money, open up the Umrah. A whole world is going for Umrah now. Whole world. Whole world. And they say, hey, our money is coming back. When Allah wants, His deen will spread. As that crowd is now coming, they had stopped. Work in the haram had stopped. They were not bothered. But now when you tell everyone come and the haram can't manage, now you're forced to tell the builders, okay, just build a little bit there. Little bit there. I want to build my Neo, but I need the money. But the money comes, they need the place. There's no place, okay, just build there also. And slowly the haram will come up. Allah's amazing system, amazing. But for me and you, Mubarak to your masjid. Mubarak. But as I told you, this is a religion that never stops. It only gets bigger. If you enter here and you say, so nice and big, then it will stop. And if you enter and say, this place is not big enough, Allah will make it get bigger. Does it end with a masjid? No. Because there's never been a masjid in Islam except that it became a markaz. If it doesn't become a masjid, it doesn't remain a masjid. If it doesn't become a markaz of what? Markaz means a place which is firm. It must be a gathering of knowledge. That there has to be ta'aleem that takes place. There has to be learning and teaching. There has to be teaching of Quran. There has to be teaching of the meaning of Quran. There has to be teaching for the young boys. There has to be teaching for the adults. There has to be teaching facilities for girls with proper parda, hijab. There has to be teaching for the woman. There has to be arrangements that a time is going to come, non-Muslims are going to be coming more to the masjid than even Muslims. That I read the kalima already, is there a place for me to learn? My sister, you got that place put up for you already. My brother, this place is ready for you. A masjid, we are now reaching the time where the blast of hidayah is. We are on the brink. Everyone's heart is inclined. You just mention, do you want to know about Islam? And 5 people will come around you. Once upon a time you said Islam and 10 people will walk away from you. Now you just mentioned you want to know about Islam. I wouldn't mind knowing what's happening. What's happening here? What's happening in Gaza? Why are they killing you people? Do you want to know the Quran? I would love to get a Quran. I would love a copy. What a wonderful book. Islam at the moment is in the minds and the hearts of all. And the masajid have to be made ready to accommodate all. Allah allowed you people to take one step. And as you said, so fast it came up, so fast. Allah Ta'ala allow you people to take a further step. Immediately your mind is, where's the Hifz class? If the Hifz class is there, do the boys know the meaning of Quran? Let's have somebody teaching the meaning of Quran. To young children, to adults. Adults, they say, my mind is very weak. An old man will come, he says, me to memorize Quran. You say, very hard. You say, you know me, I forget my wife's name also. I can't remember these things. But meaning, the meaning I can understand. Why don't someone teach me the meaning of Quran? I'm ready to come and listen. What's the message of Quran? A religion that's just getting bigger and bigger in the world. And I'm at the beginning of it. How can it happen? Somebody else will beat me. He'll come after and he'll get more. And I was so many years in Islam and I got nothing. Said, I can't be left behind. Before others come and take this faith, let me also take my share. I need to learn little Quran. I need to learn little of the meaning of Quran. Where's the Imam? Yesterday we were sitting on the Dastarkhan. The ulama were talking. Ulama got their own talks and the mutawallis got their own talks. The mutawalli complains of the Imam complains of the mutawalli. Best Dastarkhan is when you got the mutawalli on one side and the Imam on the other side. So this was that Dastarkhan now. But the Imams were more and the mutawalli, poor guy, was one only. So they had their chance to speak. So the Imam Sahib is telling me that, you know, when I bought my first Mercedes, when I bought my Mercedes, the mutawalli told me, Imam Sahib, it seems we're paying you too much. So he said, Mutawalli, your money doesn't cover my rental also. So he says, the problem with these mutawallis, they don't like to see the ulama happy. So the Imam Sahib is telling me, so to make them more upset, I went and bought a Tesla. After he took me in his Tesla also. I said, hey, here it's nice to be an Imam in this country. The ulama drive like this. Even the mutawallis are burning. So then somebody else said this, and the mutawallis, they don't like to see the Imam happy, and they never like to see the Imam free. Whenever they find him free, they say, he got no work. No work. But that sentence made me happy. The ulama must never be free. There's too much work to be done. Too much. Too much work. And the work is just going to get more and more. A masjid must be a markaz. Things must be happening. People must support. They say, where's the boys doing hifz? The mind must always go one further and you will see how strong what you already got becomes. The mind must go one further. Become stagnant, it will be like stagnant water. As long as it's flowing, it doesn't keep any dirt. Stagnant water, anything falls in, it makes the water dirty. Dirt will carry on falling. But as we carry on progressing, the progress moves the dirt. You stop progressing. That's when you have the problems. I entered a lovely masjid. Now the masjid is built. Now the man says, Alhamdulillah, the work is done. What happens after that? After that, because now they don't need funding for further projects. Now everyone starts fighting to be in charge of the masjid. Because the masjid got enough money. As long as you have to go collect, everybody says, hey, I'm too busy. You in charge, go. When the work stops, the fight starts. As long as the work is carrying on, it just wipes away the dirt. Carry on. We got no time. There's another project. Hey, carry on there. May Allah Ta'ala make that in our masajid, our eye is in front. And in our life, and I'll end on this last one. How many days we fasting? How much is finished now? 20. How much is left? 10. Everyone will say 10 left, isn't it? You will never hear a person saying after fasting 30, I have now learned how to fast beyond 30. That you'll never hear. That's why a Ramadan calendar will come. And they'll never have in that calendar and the rest of the year days to also fast. Rest of the year. Monday, Thursday. 3 days every month. These are the Ayyam Abid. These are your fasting days. Let that calendar come out. Ramadan 30 days. 6 days Shawwal. 3 every month. Ayyam Abid. Here's the month of Muharram. 10th of Muharram. These are fasting days. That calendar I never ever saw. Because for many people that'll be a scary calendar. Like so much fast. But when the mind sets on 30, what happens? You're going to become stagnant. And when you are ready to flow, you will enjoy the coming Ramadan also. When we don't fast during the year, when Ramadan comes, the man says, hey, it's 10 days, only 10 days finish. When 20 days, he still says, hey, last 10 days. Imagine when this 29 days finish. 29 days, there's only 1 day left. You will accept the whole world will say, Allah, make it 30 days, Rosa. Everyone say, Allah, let them see the moon. 1 day left. Because no one. A group of the Salaf, a slave girl was in an environment of piety. Now she gets sold into another village. So the master takes her, she moves with him, she lives with him. Now she sees everyone is preparing, they're all excited. He is going and he's getting food and he's getting halwa. And so she says, what's happening? He looks at her shocked. Don't you know Ramadan is coming? I thought you came from the pious village. Do you not prepare for Ramadan? She says, I came from a nation. The whole year for them is like Ramadan. He says, you people prepare for Ramadan. Do you all not fast the rest of the year? And he was quiet. She said, take me back to my old master. How do I live in a nation that fasts only in Ramadan? That you're saying Ramadan is coming, the month of fasting. He said, I came from people whose whole year is fasting. Every few days we fasting. You're telling us, prepare for the fast. I mean, we're always fasting. Is there another preparation? Maybe me and you also have become stagnant over the years. Because we have become stagnant, Ramadan has taken a different flavor for us. A flavor of, may Allah save us all, it looks like a burden. It looks like a burden. Because Qiyam after Ramadan just ends. Qiyam after Ramadan just ends. So when we hear 20 rakats, it's because during the year we read no rakats. But the one who fasts out of Ramadan and who will stand now out of Ramadan, he will find during the year very few are fasting and very few are standing, and he's one of them. And when Ramadan comes, he gets more excited because now not only I'm fasting, everyone is fasting with me. So my fast has become even easier. He now looks at Ramadan as an enjoyment. I was fasting all alone. I was standing all alone. Hey, everyone is with me now. But if I'm not standing at all and not fasting at all, then when that first Allahu Akbar is made on the first of Ramadan, you already look at the calendar and say, this is going to be a long month. Long month. Allah make us, this deen is going bigger and better. Me and you must also go better and bigger. We can't be left behind. Allah has brought 30 days of fast to make us adi, habitual with fasting. He brought 30 days of Quran to make us habitual with Quran. 30 days of Qiyam to make us habitual with Qiyam. We are on the brink now. I'm seeing Eid around the corner. After Eid, may Allah Tabarak Ta'ala let fasting and Qiyam and Quran remain with us. I gave this example yesterday, I'll repeat it. One person told me that example I needed to take out my book to write it, but I never have my book. That's why I thought, okay, sometimes an example makes the message sit nicely. I'll repeat the example to you all. The Sheikh visits the sheikh of the forest. In those villages you have a sheikh who lives far away. And then Ramadan comes, in Ramadan he says, okay, I'll come now and I'll be like the sheikh of the town and every day I'll give advice. But when the sheikh is coming, obviously you have to have iftar dawats. So everyone in the town, everyone fights. There's 30 people in the town, right? My day is set, your day, your day, your day. And every day the sheikh would eat by one person's house. 30th, 29th of Ramadan, then Eid night. After Eid, sheikh goes back to his forest. And no one is allowed to come and meet sheikh where he is. There he is alone. You got a problem, you got a question, next year I'm coming back. So sheikh now, on the last night of Ramadan, Allah keeps him in someone's house. He makes his last iftar there, he makes his, after Taraweeh he comes, he makes his tahajjud there. The man is so excited, sheikh is making tahajjud in my house tonight, final night. And then the news comes that tonight there's no Taraweeh already took place in the villages of the past. That's how it used to be. The Taraweeh would take place. The next day still waiting. Hey, the moon was sighted. Hey, tomorrow is Eid, right? No problem. We made Taraweeh, but no problem. Tomorrow is Eid. Sheikh made Eid and Sheikh is gone. Sheikh goes away. The man was so excited. I had Sheikh last night in my house. He goes back. As he's going back, he thinks. He remembers he left a big stack of notes in his house. He asks his wife, where's that? She says, hey, we left it in that room. Now quietly you're walking, Sheikh wouldn't have stolen my money. But looking in the room, looking, there's no money. Now that poor person, all that happiness of Sheikh is gone. Telling his friends, do you think it's possible the Sheikh can steal? The Sheikh, we know him for so many years. Where will Sheikh ever steal? He said, but that money is nowhere in the house. And my wife says it was in that room. Now everyone's a whole year you got to discuss. The next year the message comes that Sheikh is coming one day earlier, before Ramadan starts. So they tell that person that, you know what, first dawat is at your house. You must sort this matter out with the Sheikh. Where's that money? Because if he's a thief, we're not taking him anymore. Who's going to talk? He must talk. On the Dastarkhan, Sheikh, how are you? So nice. We must, 1 year, how everything is okay, Sheikh. Sheikh, you remember last year you were in my house? Yeah, I remember this. Remember, Sheikh, in that room you slept? Yeah. Sheikh, you know what? My wife had left some money. By any chance, you saw that money? Now the Sheikh just looks and like, guilt in his eye. And he says, I'm so sorry. He says, that night the wind was blowing quite hard. And I saw that money move. So I felt that if I just leave it like that, what if one gush comes and takes all that money out of the window? All gone. So I grabbed it. Now sitting with it, I said, in the morning we might just go for Fajr and Eid and everyone meeting me, and I might even forget about it. So thinking now where to put the money. Looking around in the room, where can I put this money? That even if I don't tell you, you'll find it. Looking. Then I saw the Quran Sharif. I said, as soon as you come back from Eid Salah, you'll open your Quran Sharif. So I put it on the first page. You never see it there. And now the man is looking stunned. When you read Quran Sharif, you never see it. You mean you never opened your Quran? And the man is quiet. That man will now run to open his Quran, isn't it? To see if his money is there. But what a message the Shaykh left for all of us. That will 30 days of Quran finish with no Quran after that. And we'll wait for next year to open up my Quran. Or will 30 days make me habitual of Quran? Because when you're reading Quran out of Ramadan, when next Ramadan comes, you get excited. Whole year I was reading alone, now everyone is reading with me. Whole year I'm fasting alone, now everyone is fasting. Whole year I'm standing alone, now everyone is standing. But the one who doesn't do after Ramadan becomes stagnant. And then even Ramadan becomes a burden. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala allow your masjid increases. And may Allah allow our own Islam increases. It must happen around us and it must happen within us. We aim very high and Allah will take us very high. Be happy with your little amount that you got. You'll become stagnant, dirt will enter, and even that little one day will disappear. Allah save us all. Let us move, move, move. All of you all intend. I also intend. After Ramadan, there are 3 fasts in a month. I managed 30 in 1 month. Can I manage 3 in the whole month? I managed 30 in the month. Can I manage 3 in a whole month? I read 20 rakats at night. Can I manage 4 rakats at night? 4 rakats. I made an entire khatam in 1 month. Can I manage a khatam in the whole year? I say, may Allah, I can manage much more than that. But make an intention that after Ramadan, I have to continue. Even if the water moves slowly, but as long as it's moving, dirt doesn't remain. Stagnant water creates a lot of problems. وصلى الله على النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله أحسن الجزاء. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala keep all of you happy in the month of Ramadan. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala accept the Ramadan of every one of you. That which started with barakat in the month of Ramadan, may Allah give it more and more barakat. May your eyes become cool where you see this thing growing and growing, bigger and bigger, becoming a markaz of the deen of Islam. May Allah Tabarak Ta'ala make us all students of that markaz. وصلى الله على النبي الكريم وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Another dua. That was the dua. Now there will be a dua with the hands, inshallah. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. Oh Allah, in your kindness, let us never be stagnant. Allah, in your kindness, make us all those who learn Quran and teach Quran. Let our learning with Quran never come to an end. Let our teaching Quran never come to an end. Allah, let us all be involved in the khidmah of your deen. Allah, make every one of us an ambassador of your deen. Allah, let our wealth be used for your deen. Let our energies be used for your deen. Let our words be used for your deen. Let our actions be used for your deen. Allah, let us never be a barrier in deen. Allah, let us always be a strength in deen. Allah, when the deen of Islam is going to enter into every house, Allah, in your kindness, allow us to be the means, to be the in-between, to be a medium towards this great work. Allah, you used what work you used the Anbiya alayhimus salatu wassalam. Allah, for a unique work for which you used a galaxy of Sahaba and scholars. Allah, in a unique work for which you used the Zuhad of the Ummah, the pious of the Ummah. Allah, in this work of yours, Allah, in your kindness, Allah, when you have used the purest of purest for your deen, Allah, is there a share for those that are not pure also? Allah, in your kindness, allow there to be a share for every one of us. Allah, allow us to be a share for every one of us. When the flag of Islam is going to be lifted high in the world, Allah, allow our dirty hands to also be used to lift up that flag. Allah, our dirty tongues, allow it to be used for the propagation of your deen. Allah, our dirty bodies, allow it to be made pure and to be of service to your pure deen. Allah, Jannah is pure and nothing but purity ever enters into Jannah. But definitely you have made place for our dirty bodies in Jannah. Allah, in your kindness, purify these dirty bodies. Allah, make these dirty bodies the recipients of Jannatul Firdaus. Allah, nothing is far from your kindness. Allah, nothing is far from your kindness. Allah, let this masjid not end here. Let this just be the beginning. Allah, let this be the beginning of a unique future for this area, for the people of this area, for this land, for this country, for the countries around it. Allah, when the deen of Islam spreads like fire in the entire world, Allah, allow that we are the ones that have been able to light that fire. Allah, let it be that we are the ones that were able to light that fire. Allah, when people will be moving to Islam in droves and droves, Allah, allow our share that we were the one that started the movement, and nothing is far from your kindness. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.